Hi there guys, and welcome to video number 136. This video is on measuring angles, and the keywords I've got for you are protractor and vertex. Now a protractor is the piece of equipment that you would use to measure an angle. It's the clear thing with the numbers on it that range from 0 to 180 degrees. Some people have got a 360 degree protractor, which would be lovely if you had one of those. The vertex is the point at which two lines meet to create an angle. And the key notation that we've got here is the angle symbol, which is explained in the last video, but if you haven't seen it, that is the angle symbol, and that little O is what's next to numbers, and that means the degrees. Okay, so it can be tricky to measure angles because, like I said, most people have got a 180 degree protractor, but what you've got to do is position the center of the protractor on the vertex of the angle and make sure that one of the zeros either side of so it's either the inside measurement 0 or the outside measurement 0. Make sure one of those zeros is lined up with the angle, lines up with one of the lines of the angle, sorry. Measure from the 0 mark to wherever the other straight line is, note down what the angle is, and then check that it's a sensible answer. Always think, is that actually a sensible answer, depending upon what the angle type is. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a protractor, all right, and I'm going to measure the first angle. I've set this one up already. Okay, now what you can see is I'm not measuring the angle that I want in this example. This is quite a tricky one to start with. I'm measuring the bit that we don't want, all right? And the bit that we want is indicated with the blue arc that goes around the outside there. I'm going to measure the inside bit here, all right, that we don't want, all right? And that goes all the way around here to 133 degrees, okay? So starting at the zero's on the outside, all the way around 133 degrees. Makes sense because this angle is an obtuse one, all right? We want the reflex angle, right? Now that whole lot, if you added the obtuse and the reflex together, you would get 360 degrees. So if we take 133 away from 360, we will get 227. So the answer to that one is 227 degrees. Right, now with the rest of it, I'm going to try and make the protractor just a little bit bigger so you can see what's going on. And then hopefully we'll be able to measure quite accurately what the rest of the angles are. Okay, so moving that one around, just to move that around to there. Right, moving that one into position, so the vertex of the angle, center of the protractor, is there now. All right, and then we just need to twist it just slightly so that lines up with that line there. Okay, and then what I can do is I can go around and measure to that point there. Now you might not be able to see exactly where that is, it's gone off the screen, right? But I think that's 134 degrees. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type in that answer. Okay, and then I'm just going to drag that in there, and that's that answer to that question. Okay, there you go. Now you can see that I measured from 0 here, right, all the way around, because the 0 is on the inside, all the way around here, past the 130 to the 134. Okay, and that's why I've decided that one was 134 degrees. Right, let's have a little look at the next one. All right, and I'll just spin it around, and I'll show you can measure from this side as well. Okay, so there's our 0. Our 0 is on the inside again. Okay, and we're going to measure with that blue line to there, and I'll say that's 85 degrees. Okay, that looks to be exactly between halfway between the 80 and the 90, so 85 degrees will be our answer for that one. Okay, and then the last one, well, you can see that that is exactly 90. Okay, that is a 90 degree angle because it's got the notation of the 90 degree on it anyway. Okay, but there you go, it's a 90 degree angle. So it's a pretty simple process once you get the hang of it, making sure you're going from the correct 0 mark. Okay, now looking at question number 2, you've got a bit of the notation going on here in a triangle. So you've got in the triangle, measure the size of EFG. So E to F to G, that's the angle F to begin with. So if we go spin that round, all right, and then we line that up there, and then we go make the thing a bit smaller so I can actually measure it. That angle there, I'd say, is 100 and something degrees. I can't see what that says. It's quite hard to see. That's 128 degrees ish. Yeah, because it's quite close to 30, maybe 129. We'll go with 129. Okay, so let's take that and as 129 degrees, right, and drag that answer in there for EFG, right? And the reason why that one's EFG, right, which is underneath here, is because E to F to G. F is the middle letter of this angle notation here. That means angle EFG, and that's the one we measured. Okay, now if we want angle GEF, G to E to F, we need to spin the protractor around, right, and measure from the vertex of E there, okay, and then just line it up. So line up the protractor so we get the 0 lined up with the line EG, and then we can measure that angle round there. I think that's 27 degrees that came up as, so we'll take that to be 27. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll measure the last one, okay, and just see if it does make sense in terms of the angles inside a triangle and what they've got to add up to. You should know that they got to add up to 180 already. That angle, I think there is, just measure there again. I think that that is 100 and, no, not 100, and I think that's 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's halfway between, yeah, 25 degrees. So let's just see if those angles make sense. And if not, we'll just adjust them by a degree or two. So 25 plus 27, let me just type this in, plus 129 equals 181. So what I'm going to do is take is 1 degree off of this, make it 128. And there we go. Those three angles now add up to 180. Make sure your answer does add up to 180. All right. You will get a couple of degrees either side of your for your accuracy of measuring here. Okay. So right, let's have a look at this third and final question then in the world of measuring angles. OV has made a mistake measuring angle VWZ. He says, and I've missed out the word says, but he says it is 144 degrees. A, explain how you know he has made a mistake. Well, VWZ, right, is, and if we type this in, VWZ is an acute angle. Okay, and 144 degrees is obtuse. So that's how we know he's made a mistake. And that's a good enough answer there. So we'll just pop that in to the answer space there. Okay, VWZ is definitely an acute angle. Okay, and then what we've got to do is measure that for B. So let's pop the center point of the protractor on there. Spin it round so we line up one of the lines with the 0. It's a tricky process. And then we just measure round. So we're starting at the 0 that's on the inside over here, and then we're going to measure this angle here, and I think that's 36 degrees. Okay, so just moving that out the way, just going to drag in my answer of 36 degrees. All right, now that's it for the world of measuring angles. Pretty tricky process, especially doing it on the computer. I hope it's made sense to you. I hope that you understand how to use this thing, all right, now, because it's a very useful tool moving forwards. Please do like, subscribe, share, and practice using the link in the description. But if you don't have a protractor, make sure you pick one up from me from school. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.